Importance of supply chain. The supply chain is a critical factor in which a company manages the flow of materials and services it supplies in its manufacturing and distribution processes. The supply chain chart can vary according to the company's industry and business model. In general, the supply chain diagram includes various elements such as suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, logistics service providers, retailers, and customers. Each link of the supply chain works with other links to ensure that the product or service reaches the customer. Each link of the supply chain works with other links to ensure that the product or service reaches the customer. A weak spot in the supply chain can negatively impact the company's production capacity and customer satisfaction. Therefore, protecting supply chain is extremely important for companies in times of crisis. In times of crisis, various problems may occur in the supply chain. These may include supplier issues. Business partners, including suppliers, may also be affected during times of crisis. A disruption in any link in the supply chain can affect the entire chain. Reasons such as the closure of suppliers, the supply of materials used in production, or problems in the provision of logistics services may cause interruptions in the supply chain. Changes in demand. Significant changes may occur in customer demands during crisis periods. For example, while online shopping increased due to stay-at-home measures during the pandemic period, sales of physical stores decreased. This can cause companies to err in their demand forecast and have difficulties in stock management in the supply chain. Production problems. Problems may occur in production during crisis periods. For example, reasons such as natural disasters, technical failures, or lack of labor may disrupt or stop production. This can make it difficult for companies to meet customer needs. Logistic problems. These problems may be experienced in logistics services in times of crisis. For example, travel restrictions, limited logistics facilities, or disruption in customs procedures can cause problems in shipping materials or products. Cost of increase. Costs may increase in times of crisis. For example, logistics costs have increased during the pandemic period due to constraints in the supply chain. This situation can reduce the profit margins of the companies and cause them to experience a financially difficult period. All these factors require companies to take measures to protect their supply chain and to minimize the effects of the crisis in times of crisis. First, companies must identify and be prepared for risks in their supply chains. This may include measures such as researching alternative sources of supply, increasing stock levels, forecasting demand, working closely with suppliers, and constantly monitoring supply chain management. In addition, companies can use digital technologies to reduce risks in their supply chains. For example, technologies such as artificial intelligence can provide greater efficiency and security in supply chain management. Companies should plan how they will manage their suppliers in times of crisis This may include measures such as communicating closely about issues in the supply chain, monitoring the status of suppliers, being mindful of shipping materials from risky areas, and adopting a solution-oriented approach in collaboration with suppliers. All of these can help companies protect their supply chains and minimize negative impacts during times of crisis. In addition, companies should prepare a crisis management plan to protect their supply chain. This plan will identify critical elements in supply chain management and provide a roadmap of how to act in times of crisis. A crisis management plan can also provide a framework for minimizing risks in the supply chain, collaborating with suppliers, meeting customer needs, and protecting the company's reputation. In addition, in times of crisis, companies should not only focus on their suppliers, but also consider other parties in the supply chain to protect their supply chain. This stems from the fact that all parties in the supply chain are interdependent. The weaknesses of any link in the supply chain can affect the entire supply chain. The supply chain is one of the key elements of success in today's business world. By managing activities in the supply chain, companies can increase customer satisfaction, reduce costs, and increase revenues. However, disruptions in the supply chain can cause serious problems in times of crisis and threaten the business continuity of companies. Especially in a global crisis such as pandemic, difficulties in supply chain can affect companies' production capacities, supply processes, and logistic operations. Therefore, companies to anticipate risks and crises in the supply chain and develop strategies to effectively these crises. These strategies may include close communication with business partners in the supply chain, identifying alternative suppliers, optimizing stock levels, and use of productivity, enhancing technologies, and preparation of crisis management plans. All of this can help companies maintain efficiency in their supply chain and ensure business continuity in times of crisis. Times of crisis can present an opportunity for companies to reassess and update their supply chain strategies. During these periods, companies may seek new business models, technologies, and processes to increase reliability in the supply chain, provide flexibility, and be prepared for possible future crises. This means that the supply chain must be continually improved, not only in times of crisis, but also to adapt to changing conditions in the future. As a result, protecting the supply chain and managing it in times of crisis is vital for companies to ensure business continuity. Thanks for listening. Best regards.